Hello and welcome to the Sunday school classroom. Sue, come out and say hi to our friends. Good morning, good morning. How are you? Good morning, good morning. How are you? I'm fine, I'm fine. Hope you are too. I'm fine. Hope you are too. How are you, Sue? I'm so glad to see you. Well, did you know that today we're going to read a story about a Gruffalo? Have you ever heard of a Gruffalo? Well, a Gruffalo isn't real. A Gruffalo is an imaginary creature, and a little mouse is going to see a Gruffalo in our story today. So we'll talk about that more in just a minute. Right now, it's time to feed somebody who's very real and not imaginary, Fred the fish. So sit down, Sue. It's time for us to do our class job. And I think Fred is waiting for us. Hi, Fred the fish. There you go. There's some food. Good morning. Well, now that we have fed Fred, let's turn around and see what day it is. The month is February, and let's reach into our can and see how we are going to count. It says we're going to growl. So can you help me growl as we count? Maybe we'll get our claws out like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Today is February 20th. February 20th. And if you go all the way up to the top, you can see that the day of the week starts with letter M. M says So what day of the week starts with that sound? Monday. Today's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday, and tomorrow will be Tuesday. Days of the week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. 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 Well, it is time to check the weather, so look outside your window and see what the weather's like for you today. Maybe you're having a sunny day or a rainy day or a windy day. Are you ready to sing about it? When I do like this, shout it out. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? It is out today. It is out today. Well, let's dress Weather Bear. Oh, looks like he's already dressed. I think he got up early today and got dressed. So let's see what he's wearing. So Weather Bear, oh, you got your hat. That's great. And I saw you had your cool shirt and pants. And you even had your coat on. Oh, you did a great job. Weather Bear dressed himself today. Well, what is the season? Can you remember? The season is winter. It's winter. Okay, well, that was our calendar and weather time. And now it's time for our letter of the day. Today's letter is the letter G. If your name has letter G, stand up. If your name has letter G, stand up. If your name has letter G, if your name has letter G, If your name has letter G, stand up. Wow, yay! Well, G is for Gruffalo, and Gruffalo is an imaginary creature, and it's really hairy. So I'm going to use some brown yarn that I cut today to decorate my letter G. If you don't have brown yarn, don't worry. You can just take your brown crayon or marker, and you can just color your letter G today. Okay, so if you don't have yarn, you can just make a very hairy letter G. And if you do have some yarn, you can just put some glue on your letter G like this, and then just stick on some pieces of yarn to look really hairy like the Gruffalo. You'll see what the Gruffalo looks like when we do story time today. We're going to actually make a Gruffalo today for art too. So there you have it. There is my very hairy letter G for Gruffalo. And now that we can recognize this letter, it's letter G, we'll practice writing it. And I'll show you how. You can practice on your own board, on your own paper, just regular paper. If you don't have any paper, you can skywrite like this, or you can use handwriting paper. Now, here's how you make a letter G. You're just going to curve around like letter C, but when you get to the middle, then make a line that goes in. So curve around and in. That's how you make the big letter G. Let me show you what it looks like on handwriting paper. Okay, so we are going to start upstairs, and we're going to just curve around like a letter C, and then we're going to just make a line that goes in. So around and in. Around and in. Around and in. That is the big letter G. Okay, I would love to cheer for you if you are making a big letter G. Let me see. Yay, very good. You're listening and learning. You're doing a great job. All right, let me show you little letter G. You just make a circle, and I call that a kitty cat's tail because it looks like it's a cat's tail curving around like that. So see if you can do that too. Make the circle downstairs and then a kitty cat's tail that goes all the way down into the basement. I sometimes say a ball and a kitty cat's tail because sometimes cats like to chase things. If you roll the ball, a kitty cat will chase it. So a ball and a kitty cat's tail. A ball and a cat's tail. Two more. A ball and a cat's tail. Well, I would love to check and cheer for you. So let me see that little G. Yay, nice job. I'm going to give you a sticker for your handwriting time today. Here it comes. Well, it's time to talk about the sound that letter G makes. Letter G makes the sound like this. G, g, g. Can you try to make that sound? G, g, g. It, to me, sounds like I'm gulping water. G, g, g. That's our hand motion for letter G. Can you do that? Pretend you're holding a cup. G, 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 and gulping some water. Letter G makes this sound. G, g, g. Well, I brought some colorful and fun cups to help us to practice, and you may even have some of these too, and you could use those today to help you remember what letter G sounds like. So I'm going to hold up a cup, and you help me to remember, what does G say? G, g, g. Very good. That one had puppy dogs. Let's see what the next one has. Oh, Star Wars. What does letter G say? G, G, G. Very good. Okay, and then I have, you see, oh, Batman. I have Batman cup. What does letter G say? G, G, G. Well, get your colorful cups if you want to, and you can practice saying the letter G sound. Letter G says G, 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 like gulping water. Well, G is for Gruffalo. So we are going to head over to the art table and we're going to make a Gruffalo. Let's go. So we're going to make a paper Gruffalo. Now remember, a Gruffalo is an imaginary creature in our story, and I'm going to show you what he looks like. Now you can use I've already cut out all my pieces, but you can cut out the pieces and I'll tell you what to do. So first you need a piece of brown paper, and then you're going to need 2 orange circles. Those are going to be the eyes. And you can see that I just put dots inside the eyes. Next, we're going to need 2 ears on the sides. So I'm just putting them like that. And you can kind of see the shapes that I used. And then we're going to need, I think I'll go back down to the nose. So the nose is here. And a Gruffalo in the story has a big green wart on his nose. Ooh, so I'm going to put that on his nose. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to. Okay, and so then I'm going to come back up here and put 2 white horns. So let me tell you about the story while I'm working. The story is about a little mouse who lives in the forest, and he meets an owl and a fox and all other kinds of creatures, and they want to eat him up. So he tells them they better not, because he knows a Gruffalo, and the Gruffalo will not be happy if they eat him. Turns out he was just making up the Gruffalo. There was no real Gruffalo, or so he thought. But by the end of the book, he meets a real Gruffalo. In the book, it's real. In real life, there's no Gruffalo. Look how silly he looks. So this is what a Gruffalo looks like. It's just an imaginary creature that the little mouse made up. But in the book, it's real. But in real life, there are no Gruffalos. But I think that made a colorful art project. So maybe you'd like to make this today. You can pause the screen so that you can work on this and you can know what pieces to cut out and what shapes they are. Well, it is time for me to come back around to the classroom. So I'll be right there. So for story time today, the book is called The Gruffalo, but actually I couldn't find the Kindle digital copy of the book. So instead, I'm going to put the link below to someone else who's going to read that story for you today if you'd like to hear it. Sue, come out. It's time to say goodbye to our friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Give a little wave. Give a little wave. Give a little wave. It's time to say goodbye. Blow a kiss. Blow a kiss. Blow a kiss. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.